This is GKW. Welcome to another edition of Good Karma Wrestling. Gang all here. I'm Gabe Nitro from ESPN Milwaukee. Brian Rowitz from ESPN West Palm. From ESPN 1000 in Chicago, Jonathan Hood. Also catch our guy Hood, part of SiriusXM WWE Radio every Sunday from 9 until noon Eastern time. Now, this is something I don't think you're going to be talking about on WWE Radio. Hood is where we start, because one of the biggest pro wrestling shows of the year is finally here. Sunday at Wembley Stadium, we have AEW All In, 9 matches as we sit here today, because you never know. They can always add one on Collision. Can always add another one to this card. We have 9 matches on the card as we sit here today for All In on Sunday. So give a letter grade to the build for this year's version of All In.
Well, I think it's been a B+. I think they've done a really good job, especially for the matches that we want to see. I mean, think about this with Omega and Ospreay. They've done a really good job, to the point where Kenny Omega has become a heel in all of this, right? As a guy with the experience, and kind of they were going back and forth on who could draw, who can't. This is really good. It kind of puts Ospreay at a different kind of level and puts Omega like above him. I think they were level at first, but I think based on the storyline, Omega as the champion has got a little bit more cocky, and it's actually a much better build because of him. Willow and Mercedes has been fantastic.
So good.
So fantastic. I'm hoping Willow wins. That's my hope. But I love those two, because that's a rivalry that can last and has for a long time. Kyle Fletcher being out there. So I think that there's a lot to like, Brian, with this build. They've done a really good job. It seems like it's all happening at once. It hasn't been like a 2-month build, but hey, man, as of late, they have really been cooking.
Well, that's why I'm going to compare them to themselves. And I give it an A+, because you look at this card and we've known the majority of this card for weeks now. Like, Gabe, you joke we're going to have some matches added. Big Boom will somehow end up on it. That will happen. But the 9 matches we have right now, there are stories behind it. They've built it over the last few weeks, and they've done a heck of a job getting you to care about it, where they're not just thrown together matches. Yes, the trios will be sort of just a bunch of bodies in a car crash, but there's at least a little story there. And everything has been built to the point where you can almost ignore that last night the main event of the go-home show was Swerve and Jungle Boy for some reason. But the rest of it, the storyline's really good heading into this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they've saved Omega Ospreay, I think, a little bit, but for the most part, the last couple of weeks it's picked up. Cajun Cope versus the Young Bucks, obviously really good. Andrade, MJF. Now you've got Jericho in the Gauntlet match. I don't know if we needed the Continental Challenge Cup. It's resulted in some pretty good matches. I don't know if we needed this tournament leading up to it, and then Mox versus Nigel. Nigel can't go over here, right?
Well, then why has Nigel, a broadcaster, been in it all this time? Like, we already have Maya World as like this person that upsets people, and now the champion. First of all, a broadcaster beating Kyle O'Reilly is crazy to me.
Yes,
it's crazy to me. I'm like, if you watched, you saw Kyle's face, like, he's the winner.
Not just a broadcaster, a hobbled broadcaster, a not 100% broadcaster.
Like, he had to skip his ROH match last week. I don't know if it was supposed to be Eddie, and then Eddie got hurt again, so they pulled him from the tournament. Like, Eddie versus Mox would have been fun.
Yeah.
And Eddie versus Mox has like built-in story to it, and there's already stuff there. So I don't know if this is, hey, let's placate the home fans and put Nigel here, but
he probably paid to play Oasis multiple times, so he had to get another use out of it. So Nigel gets the match at Wembley.
In all seriousness, this should be the shortest match of the night, right? Like, it should just be a squash.
Nigel's gonna battle.
But John Moxley's like one of your biggest guys. He's been the Continental champ since they had the tournament back in December. And Nigel's an injured broadcaster. Like, this shouldn't be much of a match.
The only guys Mox loses to are Hangman and Nigel. Same level.
By submission.
Right.
Maybe by submission. That makes no sense. But also, you're the guy on Collision, and you'll be calling Kyle O'Reilly matches. Oh, I beat him, Tony. Oh, pip, pip, governor. Could you imagine? And then before that, what's the bracket before that? How did he get into the semifinals?
You had
I don't remember
Hold
who
on.
he
So
beat.
Nigel in this run has beaten Shibata. He beat Hechicero, and then he beat Kyle O'Reilly.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I know it's wrestling, but that's ridiculous. And so now, how will he be able to chop down Mox? Again, knowing what the finish was going to be, I was rooting for Claudio.
Yes.
I thought Claudio would be able to get up, but no, they give it to Mox. That shows you how much Mox means to this company, man. I mean, him and Jericho, they have Tony Khan by the balls, and just a broadcaster taking on John Moxley. Could Nigel pull up the upset? That'd be amazing.
Yes. Like if Mox would have lost beforehand, I feel like we'd be in a lot better spot. Like Jay White winning,
Correct.
Claudio winning.
I mean, literally any of the people that Mox, as much as I love Mox, I mean, Jack Perry winning would have been fun and interesting. Jay White would have been fun and interesting. Claudio pulling off the upset and maybe getting some, a little consternation going on within the Death Riders because Claudio beat Mox back in the C2 tournaments, even though Mox ended up advancing. So now there's like, okay, well, yeah, Mox has got all these titles, but he can't beat Claudio. Like that all could have been, but ultimately it was Mox advancing all the way through and Nigel. So that's got some question marks. But Kevin Knight versus Darby's been a lot of fun. The women's tag team match. I mean, there's you want to talk about inner strife. You mentioned Fletcher with Takeshita, Okada. Like again, there's all usually at some point when I'm running down an AEW card. There's a match that, yes, you're looking forward to because it's going to be really good, but it just kind of feels like it was thrown on there without much thought behind it. And even, again, you mentioned the car crash is going to be the multi-trios match. They've put time and effort into that, of all these people debating if they want to enter. You have, again, Swerve kind of, maybe, and maybe that ultimately ends up being the landing spot for whatever the New Day is going to call themselves in AEW, and that's how they make their debut. So 1 through 9 so far. Again, I say so far because there's always the possibility you just throw a wild match on here just for, S and G's. But all 9 have been thought out, have had TV time, and have had opportunities to tell stories, which while AEW has gotten, but I think that's the first time I can say that for any AEW card.
Yeah. I love a good S&G. I love a good S&G, but they've done a really good job. This Casino Gauntlet is very interesting as well to me because who knows who off the scrap heap, right? There's some people that are available in free agency, Ilya Dragunov, that could stop by and be part of the Casino Gauntlet. So I like that unpredictability as well. More than likely, that is pre-show into the show, Casino Gauntlet. They probably start off with that, even though I think all three of us agree that if the New Day's coming out, that's how I'd start the show. But Casino Gauntlet, I think, will be
on the pre-show though. Him and Andrade are 1-2.
It'll come into this. They'll run out of time in the pre-show and they'll bring it into the show.
I'm so sick of that gimmick.
We have 2 hours of it this weekend.
So sick of that gimmick. Yeah, well, and they've got to add matches to the pre-show. I can't imagine they're just going to have 9 matches. I imagine these 9 matches are the main card.
Yes. I mean, I feel like the TBS title probably ends up on the buy-in. They've given Maya World a lot of time the last few weeks, and she doesn't have a match right now. Will this be the first time the women's tag titles are defended on the main card?
I think so.
I believe so.
Like, they've lived on the pre-show, so it's cool to see them. And even that, like, it's been a month or so of building that. Like, we knew it was going to be the Brawling Bird, so it's pretty cool to see that as well.
Yeah. So I think there's been build. It's been a really good build, and it's probably the best build that they've had going into All In, because we talked about it at the time. It always feels like they want to start the build, and then there's a couple of road bumps along the way, mostly Forbidden Door, and it didn't really feel like that this year. And I think that's probably because, New Japan doesn't have a lot of people that were interested in putting on the Forbidden Door card, and that as a concept probably just needs to go away. But they were able to kind of uninterrupted have that build all the way to Wembley.
The conversation about the Young Bucks against Christian and Cope, I think that could be really fun. I just don't know what style match we're getting. Are we getting Young Bucks match, or are we getting an Edge and Christian match? Because there's a difference between the two, right?
Yeah.
Stylistically, right? How does that work? But that's a dream match, though. We never thought we would see that, and it's pretty cool.
I think it's going to be a Cage and Cope match, because I don't know what their age is, if they're going to be able to go the Young Bucks speed. I could be wrong.
Okay. So
that
half
match
speed
to
match.
me, though, is one of the bigger 50-50 matches on the card.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have no
taking
idea who
both
wins.
sides.
No idea. Well, especially if New Day are coming, like I would want to see New Day against both of those tag
Right.
teams.
Yeah. To see those two outside of the company, if they're coming on Sunday, to see those two outside, I just want to see what that looks like. Like, because they've had the WWE style forever. Definitely Kofi. Austin Creed he wrestled in
TNA.
where was he? He was in TNA, so he had kind of a similar style. But in the AEW style, what does that look like? Can they take the punishment, those guys?
I feel like Creed could be really unlocked in an AEW style. At least, or maybe I'm just hoping. Maybe I'm just hoping for that, and that's what I'm hoping, that give him a little bit more freedom in the ring, that he could go crazy and unlock a new level within himself.
I mean, like Hope had to adjust. Like after all those years in WWE, he's in AEW. All of a sudden, they're chopping him hard, and like it's like a Japan style. Like, oh, ease up, brother. Ease up. Ho, 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 ho. Slow down, brother. Slow down, brother. I want to know if there's going to be a little slow down, brother, from Kofi Kingston. The slight looking Kofi Kingston. When he turns sideways, you don't see him. I want to see if he could take the punishment of some of those AEW guys. Slow down, brother. Side headlock. Slow down. I want to see what that's like. But you know what? It should be fun. If they're coming out, if they're going to be with Swerve, it's going to be fun. And by the way, that Swerve match at the main event of Dynamite, man, it was a good one. And it made Swerve look bigger. Like he looked like a world champion to me. Just the way, the way his aura, the way that he wrestled tall and big. I'm like, I miss him in the title picture. But he says that the title doesn't matter. He just wants to have competition and wreck bodies, which is good.
Well, that's the odd part to me, is after that match, like, we don't have the actual trios match announced yet. We assume New Day is with Swerve. Jungle Boy doesn't really have a spot right now unless it's just a Casino Gauntlet. Like, part of me thought, is somehow him and Swerve teaming up in this trios match?
Guess not. But there was a handshake at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which is interesting because Swerve's been going more towards heelish tendencies.
Right.
But any sort of handshake at the end of a match is a babyface move.
Right.
Which, if New Day is debuting with Swerve, that was the thing I was trying to bring together in my head. Like, New Day, they're going to be babyfaces.
Yes.
Because they're going to be so over. They're going to be in AEW. Like, there's no way you can turn them heel right away. Maybe eventually they're heel, but aligning them with Swerve kind of made them heel-ish. But it seems like they're trying to lighten up, Swerve a little bit to be more babyface, and that all works together.
Or if they're not there, tag match ends, Cope and Cage, Young Bucks, they shake hands, lights go out, and then New Day in the ring.
And
they don't wrestle, and you just get that.
Yeah, that'll work. I'm excited about the car, guys. I'm excited. I know it's going to be a long day, but that's why we could be able to go in and go out. We may not do it all in one sitting.
Right.
It might take all day, but we'll see it.
Well, but that's what I like about All In being in Wembley.
Totally.
Being on a Sunday, it starts Sunday afternoon. If I want to stay up for the whole thing and watch it, I will be able to. Doing a morning show on Monday, if this thing was happening in New York or Los Angeles or wherever, and it was just in the States, there's not a chance I would be able to stay up for the whole thing. But no, starting in the afternoon, yeah.
And the crowds are always... Yeah, I was going to say the crowd's always lively in the UK. You saw what happened on Dynamite. That crowd, they've been looking for a crowd like that for a long time. It reminded me of old AEW when they can fill in a 10,000-seat arena. I mean, TV is not meant for, you don't have to have 20,000 people every single Wednesday, every single Saturday. But that crowd in the UK loved AEW action. They were on their feet for a lot of it.
We were worried a few weeks ago. Have we ended the Ospreay and Death Rider thing?
Yes.
Just done? No Mox interference in the main event?
No.
Okay. I hope so.
You've been watching the story. The story ended when Mox had the bag out there. Wasn't it to give the bag to Ospreay to put over Kenny Omega's head? Yes. I think it was done right there, wasn't it?
Great. I hope so.
Yeah, they followed up the next week, and yeah, that was it. Gave him the patch back, and
that's all it takes. That's it. Over the patch.
Yeah, and Mox is going to respect you and not interfere, I guess. Then.
Okay.
That's the hope. I just want you to know I love you guys. You know how much I love you guys. This is so much better than a Heatwave preview.
The Fatal 4-Way for the world title.
Please. Please. I'll save it for Sunday.
We move on to the other top 3 stories in the world of pro wrestling here on GKW. We call it the 3 count.
Oh, God.
Brian, what's number 1 this week?
What's
Trust
happened to
Hood
me?
for himself.
Well, Hood talked about this on Sunday. Friday night, we saw KO and CM Punk finally in a ring together and without a clean finish. So, what's next for CM Punk?
I mean, it kind of feels like it's going to be a 3-way, right? It's going to be a triple threat. You throw Sammy in there, Sammy, KO, and Punk, and I guess Sammy and KO kind of take each other out. Punk still emerges as champ, and we get Sammy versus KO part 1,224, and Punk moves on to either Randy Orton or Cody or whoever.
Saw this on social. There have been 11 WWE title matches this year. Would you like to guess how many have had a clean finish in 2026?
So 11 WWE Undisputed Championship. So this does not include the Heavyweight Championship.
Correct. So it's just that one, the one on SmackDown.
So I will say 2.
You guys have to combine it. It is 3, and all 3 involve Sami Zayn. Lost clean to CM Punk, lost clean to Triple Threat, and then lost clean to Drew. So Sammy is Mr.
Drew.
Clean.
That's right, Drew McIntyre. That's right. Remember him? Remember Drew McIntyre?
He was a world champion this year.
Sorry, Craven's got nothing for you. Drew McIntyre, got nothing for him, huh? Wow. CM Punk against KO and Sammy. Is that what you said, Gabe?
Yeah.
Which show is that? Which show do you think that happens?
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank, okay. So the title will be defended in Money in the Bank because Sunday night main event is already booked for Atlanta, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't sure if we'd see CM Punk and KO again, but I guess there's still meat on the bone there. I would just like to know if KO will ever get close to the title picture. Actually, the good poll question is Finn Balor, KO, who wins the title next?
If I had to bet, KO. But I don't feel great about either one of them winning a championship. Yeah.
What'd you say, Brian?
Option C, neither.
I mean, it's funny that Finn Balor continues to be in these vignettes, right? He's in the picture, and then there's Gunther looking down at him. Remember that guy? That used to be Finn Balor, and they just push him to the side like he's nothing. It's like pretty good. Like that guy was a world champion.
Pretty good pop there from Gunther, just right in front of him.
That guy used to be Finn Balor. The guy used to be Finn Balor. Anyway, let's talk about my business. It's like he's in the shadow. I mean, so 2 guys had been the champion in 10 years. And so that's interesting. So KO will never win the title while Punk is champion then, I think. If there's a 3-way, Punk retains.
Correct. Yeah. So and then Punk goes on against, I would say, Randy, because I think Randy should beat Cody at Sunday night's main event next week. Kind of be next in line.
Is that number 1 contender match, or is that he's just next?
No, I think just by beating Cody, that kind of just puts him next, because you saw him make the threat on Friday night of, hey, after I beat Cody, I'm coming for you. So I think that's ultimately what we do get.
So 2 heels.
No, Randy's not a heel.
That's very good. Because I tell you what, CM Punk, so you knew it was going to happen, Gabe. You knew it was going to happen. I thought that maybe underneath that satin jacket, we're getting a Blackhawk sweater. We did not get one, Brian, but we did get Blackhawk socks. Mm-hmm. You saw that, right? The rings look like okay, because he hates Montreal, he hates Toronto.
Toronto, yes,
the original 6
original
franchise.
6. Yep.
Yeah. So he calls us as the heel. Fantastic. Because he's trying to push KO out there as a baby face, and so he goes, I'll just wear Blackhawk socks. People will get it. And he wrestled like a heel. It just shows you the versatility of CM Punk. Even though he still got cheers here or there, because Toronto's wild like that. They'll switch on you. Bizarro, pal. Bizarro world. But I think that, again, CM Punk will go in as a baby face, as a heel against KO. And then people are against Sammy. Are people against Sammy just in Canada or everywhere? Because they were against him because he interfered in that match.
Yeah, it feels like this was his first time leaning in on being a heel, Sammy, that is. And Yeah, like it feels almost predictable where Punk retains the title, like Gabe said, then we get KO and Sammy. I think Orton eventually is the next champion. I think he's one that gets one more run. Whereas KO and Sammy, it's like, oh yeah, we can do this one more time. And I'm sure we'll see it 5 more times in their career. But
Yeah,
it was a
because
fun
they're fight
match.
forever.
Right. It was a good match Friday. Like I even love the little details of KO blowing through the collar and elbow tie up and just punching him in the face because he's so pissed off and it's, it's a fight. Like that little detail is like, okay, it's good to have KO back, but I don't know if we ever see him as a champion again.
By the way, SmackDown is the best show WWE does on a week-to-week basis, right? And it's not even close.
Yeah.
They're all great.
You get a third hour soon on SmackDown, so that's how good it is.
Oh, well, I mean,
no, Gabe,
well, not soon, but the third hour of SmackDown, that's when it's going to go back down, by the way, is when they had that third hour to SmackDown. But, like, I don't think that happens till after football season, right? Like, that's happening in January. They get the third hour back.
I don't know. I disagree with that. I think more will be good for character development in WWE. A third hour is good for SmackDown.
It is January, so we got a few months of it.
What channel am I on? Hello. Where am I, Brian? Where are we?
Look at the letters in the corner. You're good.
The 2 hours of SmackDown, again, you've got multiple challengers lining up for both world championships on the men's and women's side. Like even though Chelsea's hurt, you have people starting to, okay, it's coming. Whenever she gets cleared, you see some people who are going to be lining up as challengers, which I think is going to be fun. People are lining up to be challengers for CM Punk. You've got, Trick Williams who wants his championship back. And like SmackDown is just, from start to finish, it's just a better show. And again, maybe it's just because it's the 2 hours and it seems like it flows a little bit better, but it seems like the better storytelling's happening where over on Raw, everything just kind of gets sucked up into the
bloodline
vortex.
But yet they still can't find time for guys. And you let someone like Dragunov walk off, and even Gable has sort of cooled considerably. Like they still have that weird mid card where we're getting a little Yachty match at main event. Like it's just very odd, some of the disjointed booking they have.
Now, don't be talking about Dragunov now because they had nothing for him, clearly. Like, it's like when he was wrestling, he was part of that, was a U.S. title challenge.
Yeah.
I'd like Dragunov, but they couldn't find anything for him. Like, I'm glad he would probably go to New Japan. Good for him. Good for him. He put his time in, but, I mean, he got hurt, and it set him back. Mm-hmm. It's one of the rare times you get hurt and they don't add time on. They're like, okay, you can go. Wasn't a bad guy and could really go. But I get cheated out of the Dragunov Gunther match.
Yes.
I get cheated out of that. I never got that match. I started NXT UK, but we never got it on Raw or SmackDown. So that's the
YouTube
thing.
For that.
Oh, believe me. I've been going back to Germany and the UK. Those two were magical together. So you say Randy Orton against CM Punk. So when will that happen? Is that Survivor Series?
Survivor Series.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I feel like War Games will be Raw.
Yeah, but I mean Survivor Series, especially if Orton wins, I think kind of puts a funny little bow on that since they both came back at Survivor Series a couple of years ago in Chicago, right? And Randy came back and they did the whole thing that we got to see. I think he was on Unreal where, he was getting shit from Randy because, you couldn't just let me come back, right? They had to upstage me, and they were having fun with that in the backstage. But I think you can kind of bring that full circle of, these two guys now wrestling at Survivor Series, and especially if Orton wins, that could be a fun little story.
Yep, makes sense to me.
What do we have at number 2 this week?
Well, we mentioned Survivor Series. That's where War Games will be. Maybe it's a 3-team War Games. You have Bloodline, you have New Bloodline with Solo, and now you have Royce Keys and OTM. Is there a chance that Royce Keys becomes a main event player out of this story?
Pro wrestling's just never going to learn, are they? It's never going to learn. Like, you do a main event debut of a group that 75% of the audience doesn't know who they are. And the audience at home is helped out by Michael Cole going, I think, that's OTM. That's OTM. And then, okay, so maybe I should know who they are, but I really don't know who they are. Meanwhile, the audience is just dead because they're like, well, we know Royce Keys, but I don't know who OTM is. And it's just not to say they can't overcome it, because certainly Danhausen overcame a pretty terrible debut and has been prominently featured and been very successful in WWE since then. But this was a rough start of Royce Keys being the leader of, and there's a lot more explanation that has to happen because he used to be tight and they laid waste to everybody in that main event, whether it was guys he had just teamed with in LA Knight and Solo, obviously laid waste to the Bloodline. Like, I don't know what happens with Royce Keys and OTM and the direction they're trying to go here, because I don't even know who OTM are. And Royce obviously turning heel, they're hoping can kind of jumpstart, hey, look at this big badass. Maybe if we make him to a bad guy, he can more resonate with the audience.
Michael Cole gave you the story. Royce Keys knows them from, as he says, the hood in Oakland.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Cool, Michael. Thank you.
Go.
I already hate this. Because I'm in the dark like Gabe and like you, Brian. Like, I'm seeing these two brothers come out there with Royce Keys, and I go, who are these two? What is OTM? You can't assume that everybody knows everything about your product. Some people are just SmackDown people. You'd be amazed at how many live shows on TikTok and Instagram just watching SmackDown on a Friday night. Got a pizza, got a beer, and just doing a watch-alongs. There's plenty of them just on Fridays. Some are just on Monday Night Raw people. Don't have time for Friday nights. Some people are NXT people. But the point is, like, you're bringing out people I don't know. And then you're turning Royce Keys for what? That's a bridge to nowhere. Like, they're trying with Royce Keys. I like that he's been in the mix in the semi-main or in that area, but you have to build up the man first. We know the background. We saw the endless promotion and the podcast with Stephanie McMahon. East Palo Alto, California. Grew up in the slums. All that kind. Okay, great. He's Fatu trying to make a difference, painting a wall in 1997, as you recall those vignettes. He's in a leather jacket trying to make a difference with a coat of paint. That's what he turned into. Now he's a heel. I don't understand this. I thought that there was a thing with him and Jacob Fatu, and I thought that was interesting. That could turn into something. He was aligning himself with LA Knight. I thought that was something. You would think that Royce Keys would still be aligned with LA Knight and with Solo Sikoa because they need people. They need help. So what is this? I don't get it.
And also, Fatu wasn't even out there for that whole thing. Like, Fatu's who took him out, but he takes everyone else out, which was very odd. And
I don't get it.
Like we've talked about the last couple of weeks, that whole gray area where if it's these three teams, the Bloodline are the heels, they get squashed by these guys who are also heels.
Well, they attacked baby faces. Like, they went after LA and Solo. So if I'm power ranking who's like OTM and Royce Keys,
the hood.
Naturally. Next, the Bloodline, kind of tweeners.
Yeah.
Tweeners. And then whoever else, LA Knight and Solo add babyface.
Like, this feels like they were added to this feud so that no one in Bloodline or in LA Knight has to take a pin. Like, if you get all three teams in War Games, they're the ones giving up. And you then can have Solo and Fatu and LA Knight win War Games without actually beating the Bloodline.
I'm not even offended. I'm just disappointed in WWE using that phrase from 1996 Vince booking. They're from the hood. God damn! Like, what?
Yeah, those are the words used.
Okay, who wrote that? Michael Hayes? who thinks that's
probably?
It's probably spot on, isn't it?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Who told Mark Henry I'm blacker than you?
He also apparently, the guy who played security for Great Khalil, when he was a writer, he said 5 seconds walking into the room, him and someone else of Indian descent, Michael Hayes said, "Hey, it's Harold and Kumar." So that feels like something he would write.
Still with the company.
Yep.
Yeah. Great job. That's keeping it modern. I don't know where Royce Keys goes after this. I'm not saying it fails, but I'm saying it fails because it's really about Royce Keys. Look at the guy. Look at him. He doesn't need to be marginalized. I guess that's my point.
Why?
I mean, you're gonna do this for Big Cass. Why can't you do this for Royce Keys?
Why can nobody build him up properly? Because obviously he just kind of hung out in AEW, and it made sense at the time, right? When he jumped, because we're like, well, AEW can't really book big guys. They haven't really been able to figure that out. So, hey, go to the land of the giants. Go to the big guys. They'll figure something out for you. And it's been one big disappointment. I can't be the only one. I think you see potential in him, but nobody can seem to book him in a spot where he can at least attempt to live up to that, because that's not what this is. This is not going to be him living up to the potential. It's more than likely what Brian just said. This is now a team that's going to eat losses because they love Solo the babyface, obviously LA Knight, the Bloodline. Someone's got to lose in this feud, and it's going to be OTM and Royce Keys. And maybe they throw OTM with them, so then Royce Keys doesn't even have to eat pins. But at some point, someone's got to lose. And I just don't understand why they can't build up Royce Keys in any sort of legitimate fashion.
85% of the AEW people that have come to WWE has not done well.
No.
And so Brian, we can look at that. Like I'm going to move Cody out of the way because that's a whole different category. But just the way like Ricky Saints and just like Blake Monroe.
Oh, it's been awful.
What is that? What is that?
Ray Phoenix before this past week.
The most successful one, if we're eliminating Cody and Punk, because they had a previous WWE relationship, and I think it's fair to kind of take them out of that, even though Cody created AEW. Penta's been the most successful.
And that's something.
Jade also, I mean, Jade reached the mountaintop.
Yeah. So Penta and Jade.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, the long list, Ethan Page.
Ethan Page is good. That's
Ricky
good.
Saints.
Ethan Page deserves to be on there now. They like him a lot. That's good.
Sure, but like, when's the last time we saw him do anything? He's just been in backstage segments for the last 6 weeks. And we haven't seen Ricky Saints at all. I don't even know the last time I saw Ricky Saints on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So, Royce Keys, this doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Blake Monroe hasn't even had a debut match.
And it's still playing Tony Storm.
Yes.
Right. Right. Hey, that thing you did with Tony Storm, can you be Tony Storm? That's what it is. And it's like, no, not really. It's not great. I've seen the vignettes, but it's like that whole thing with Julia, that wasn't even a match. That was like a no contest, right? Not good.
No.
They feel like they need to wash the AEW off of them. And I'm like, what does that mean? You mean like the wrestling? like the performance?
Well, and then they let Ray Phoenix go. Spoiler alert, his match is going to be in match of the week later in the program. But they let him go in this Lucha tournament, and they put on a fantastic match in the middle of Monday Night Raw this week.
Yes. So I think that's about. So Royce Keys is among some of these AEW people coming over, not getting over just as of yet, which I think is strange. Like you didn't get them to punish them, did you? Only Vince would do that.
But like they went through, not Keys, but like the other guys went through NXT. Like they did all that already. It's just baffling.
There's only 8 people they trust in that company. That's it. It's just 8. And
you think it's that many?
Well, it's a lot of them with the Bloodline. Bloodline's 4.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so 4 with the Bloodline.
Okay.
Really, it's 3 with the Bloodline. Do we think they trust Fatu?
Yeah.
It's coming. Yeah. I think it's coming. He's in the mix. And then that's 4. And then there's Punk.
Cody, Randy.
That's 7.
And Rhea Ripley.
Okay.
We forget about Rhea because she's injured, but yes, Rhea Ripley is someone they trust. Yep.
It's only 8.
Very good point. Yeah, very good point.
At the top of the card, that's what that's it.
Yeah, that's
Sammy's lingering. There's some people that they like. They like Roxanne Perez. There's certain people. Dom's not in that circle.
Nope.
Dom's on that top 8. He loses every time you look at him. So they only trust 8 people.
Even Roxanne, I think I saw the stat this week, 2-21 on television this year.
Oof.
Not great.
Oh, they actually might trust more. I mean, because they trust. I mean, I'm going to kick Rhea out there, so it might be 7 men and like 3 women because they'll trust Rhea, Becky, and Charlotte.
Yeah.
Sure. Still 8. They're like they got their people, and the rest of it is just ancillary. That's it. So.
What do we got at number 3 this week, Brian?
Like we talked about earlier, Wembley Stadium, 1:00 Eastern, Sunday. Over 43,000 tickets already sold. Looks like we might get a sellout. What will be the biggest story out of All In?
It's the New Day being in there, right? Like, there aren't many, as we discussed with OTM, there aren't many debuts left on either roster, going with free agents either way, whatever, that I think can be as big as the New Day in AEW, right? Like, as much as we like Dragunov, like whenever he wrestles in AEW, it's not going to have the same impact as the New Day, right? And I don't know. I mean, maybe that would be if like the Young Bucks somehow ended up in WWE to end their career. That would be kind of the inverse of this thing. But as things have kind of, the dust has settled on AEW grabbing people, having them make debuts, WWE grabbing people, having them make their debuts. As the dust has settled over the last couple of years, the New Day is going to be the biggest debut in AEW since Punk.
Colt? Yeah.
Cole and Bryan. When I'm trying to think timeline wise, that was before Punk.
Cole and Bryan would have been before Punk.
Okay.
Right.
Bryan Danielson returning to the ring was huge.
Yeah, but I think that was before Punk.
Yeah.
Poor Danielson can't travel. He's not in a good way apparently.
Hate to hear that.
Yeah. Because otherwise he'd be doing some commentary sometime. You haven't seen him in months, so maybe he'll pop up in England. I'm not so sure. So, I mean, I think it's the coronation of Will Ospreay. Ospreay's winning, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Despite the producer in your Chicago market thinking otherwise.
There is a producer in our Chicago market, an AEW fan only. As I introduced him to our director of content, it's like, he's a wrestling fan. No. C-Cat said, no, I'm an AEW fan.
Well.
I said, excuse me.
Again, just take a guess at who he trained under, right?
Okay. Well,
where is this influence coming from?
Yes, you. So I would say the coronation of Will Ospreay being champion, because if he's not champion, then what are you booking Wembley for? This is what it's for. And so I think that's one thing. Does Nigel McGuinness get past Mox? Because that also in that country would be amazing for Nigel to win a championship in his home country over Mox with some roll up.
Well, not all the baby faces can win. Like, what are we gonna do?
What?
Yeah,
have you watched an AEW show? What do you mean?
I think Nigel's the one that takes the loss. To me, it's also Ospreay. But I think the other story is I think MJF wins the Casino Gauntlet and ends up in the main event. And he takes all the heat in that main event. Because I don't think the fans are ready to just boo Kenny. So we end up with a triple threat.
I think you got your heat, though. Omega has turned on the heat for him to be the bad guy in this. Don't you know that Tony Khan wants his Brett Davey Boy match, his own day? That's what he wants this to be. This is all Brett Davey Boy.
I don't know. If you throw MJF in there, though, all of a sudden, like, you turn up the heat that much more.
I'd rather let's not have outside interference or Mox or MJF to stick their beak in this. Sure. Please. Can we just have a match, back and forth? Please.
But I'm saying it is a match. I think it becomes a triple threat. I think MJF gets added to the match. Like, he cashes in whatever he gets from the win.
I hear you. I just don't agree. Okay. I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I think you've built it up. Like, you do that when you kind of panic and make that a triple threat. It makes me think of what WWE did when Seth won his championship, right? They're like, oh, man, we wanted to put Roman over, but that's not going to go well. So what if we just Seth go cash in, right? And that ends up being a pretty fantastic moment. And if we're being honest, they panicked a little bit when it was going to be Ronda versus Becky, and they decided to add Charlotte to it. You've done a good job with this build.
Okay.
Like, I think you don't need to panic and throw MJF in there. And if they don't boo Kenny, it doesn't have to be true. I mean, this is wrestling in 2026. It doesn't have to be true babyface versus true heel. Like, we don't absolutely need to have that, because also, like, the only reason to throw MJF in that match is if he's winning, and that would also kill the town.
Yeah.
Anybody walking away from that championship match who is not Will Ospreay, you can't go back to Wembley again.
Right.
I mean, you could do that. I mean, if you want to kill the town, you can. Like, you bring this to an arena, you do that. But as far as Wembley Stadium, they'll never run it again.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
There isn't such thing as killing the town in this business. So you can't. If you don't give the audience what they want and they want Ospreay to win, then you're just going to kill that town. You can move all into France then, or Dublin, because you put it in Wembley Stadium, that won't work.
All right.
What about Mercedes winning? Is that a big enough story? Because this is the one championship she has not had. I think the initial plan was for her to go in as champion, and then Willow was going to win. They eventually got to Willow versus Mercedes, but I think the original plan was Mercedes to come in as champion and this to be Willow's crowning moment. But we've already had that. So now does Mercedes get that big win, and she can finally win the women's championship for the first time in her career at AEW? Despite having all these other world championships worldwide, this is the one that's eluded her. Is that a big enough story?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. And I do think she does get the win. It feels like the Willow title win then sort of cut the legs out from it a little bit, but it feels like Mercedes is going to win. There's also some stories going around that Willow might have a hurt hand. Like, she'll still be in the match, but I don't know if that plays into anything. But it feels like it's Mercedes, and that Willow's the baby face that doesn't get the win this weekend.
But I want Willow to win.
Yeah.
That's my girl. I want her to win.
Again, I think the original plan was for this to be a short Mercedes run and then have Willow have, again, a pretty sweet moment at Wembley.
Right.
And it just, based on the injuries and the way everything ended up playing out, they still got the match they wanted. They just, I don't think, have the champion that they wanted going into this.
So there's stories and there's great matches. And even though Omega and Omega's gonna rock with Will Ospreay, but we know what the main event is, don't we? We know what the main event is. We know that Okada in his matchup with Fletcher and Takeshita is going to just slap. It's going to be unbelievable.
You know, part of me feels, yes, it's going to be the match tonight. Is there a world where babyface Kyle Fletcher is born out of this match?
Yes.
I hope so.
Yes.
Hope so.
I think there's a very strong possibility, because you've seen he's okay, I'll run the play as called from down, but he wants to be champion. And I think there's a very good chance that we've been waiting for this match for these three for a very long time, because we've wanted some things to start to blow up within the family. And we've seen Andrade, right? We've started to see the cracks. We've seen Andrade leave. We've seen Takeshita leave. We've seen Fletcher and Okada kind of butting heads. So this would be yet another crack in the foundation that is the Don Callis family, especially if the proto star Kyle Fletcher decides, I don't need this anymore. I can win this. I can keep this championship away from the family.
Yep.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that for the fourth member of GKW.
That's right.
Where do you put that match on the card?
I don't like.
I honestly don't know. I'm asking because I don't know, because I don't think you can put it first.
No, you put the trios there.
Yeah, because it feels like that's where the trios, and then you get the New Day, and then I don't know. I honestly don't know how to build out this card other than Kenny and
fantasy.
Kenny and Ospreay. I think Kenny and Ospreay go last. I think Willow and Mercedes are the semi-main.
Yep. I've seen some fantasy booking of starting the night with Kevin Knight and Darby in the Falls Count Anywhere, and that match literally just goes throughout the night. Like, we lose them at one point, the match isn't over, and then they're just like, oh, we're still going here, and it just keeps going.
That's great booking.
Yeah.
That's great. I like that.
They just come out. They have the finish in the ring.
Yes.
While they're having the women's tag team championship match.
Like, I'm sort of into that.
I love
Or
that.
they finish it during the casino gauntlet.
Right. Whatever it takes. Like, there's no stopping.
It spills into the main.
Yeah.
It's a 4-hour match.
wait a minute. Why are they still out here with Omega and Ospreay? Wait a minute. They're still tumbling, moving around like a 4-hour match.
Darby'd be on board with that, I feel like.
Oh, man.
How would you like us quietly while Omega and Ospreay are wrestling? Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Darby Allin. Quietly. While the match is still going on in the ring. That's a great gimmick. I love that.
I've gotten over the pre-show going into the main show. But that one I'd be on board for. Yeah. I think I'm in on this idea of having a 4-hour match for the TNT title.
I love the finish in a match while a match is going on.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Finally, Darby, they finally finish it. Right at the climax of the main event, they finished their match.
Whatever it takes.
Oh,
that'd be a memory. That'd be a great memory.
That would, yes, it would. All right. What do we got in news and notes this week, Brian?
All right. There have been a lot of rumors about the future of Bayley and her WWE contract. Well, Wrestling Observer says it appears she'll be staying with the WWE. She was backstage at TNA this past weekend and has been mentioned on TV the past couple of weeks.
So, an extension to her injury? Extending her contract because of the injury time, or
I guess.
I mean, I think she's. I don't know. I have a hard time kind of piecing this one together still because I mean WWE is different than it was under Vince, right? And they still mention things like New Japan Pro Wrestling, which they don't even have a partnership with, right? Like they actually mention these things on the broadcast. So I understand what Dave's doing, trying to put together the pieces. I just don't think you can put together the pieces the same way you did 6 or 7 years ago, right? Just because Bayley's been mentioned on television, I don't think can necessarily, I don't think that means what it used to mean. Oh, clearly Bayley's staying. I don't think that that's what that means. Maybe they are adding injury time. But what else is there for her to accomplish in WWE? She's not in the main event picture. They're not putting her in the main event picture. I mean, she'll probably come back at some point, but her going and wrestling in Stardom or AEW or any other one of those promotions, CMLL, like, I think could be a lot of fun for her. And I think that would kind of scratch an itch that she has, and she'd still be able to give back to women's wrestling the way she had their clinics and all those sorts of things.
Yeah, AEW would have been a fresh coat of paint for her. But if that's not in the cards, then it's like, what happens? The TNA Knockouts division is good, but it's youngish. Yeah. I don't see a matchup there that I want to see if she went to TNA. So
she's just such a wrestling junkie that I feel like she almost needs to escape that WWE bubble. Like I feel like it's not. I'm surprised it's not driving her crazy. Mercedes shared that thing on Instagram a month or so ago. The two of them at Wrestle Dream, like. So obviously she knows something also. I hope the report's wrong, but I'd love to see her free and sort of do her thing again. Friends of the show, Matt Cardona, big spot last week on SmackDown with Gunther and Chelsea Green. Well, now he'll be on the shelf, posting on social media that he needed surgery for a torn tricep suffered in that match. He will be out for an extended period of time.
Still didn't leg day. Didn't skip leg day.
That's right. Of course, very important.
What those who get injured together stay together? Is that the theory here, Hood?
Yeah. What a couple, these two. Both can't stay healthy. Yeah. Lord have mercy. One's got to help the other. One can't see, the other one can't move his arm. Fantastic.
Finally, in news and notes, Adam Copeland said in some interviews this week he would have loved to be a part of the John Cena farewell tour. Well, Tony Khan was asked about it and said, quote, I never got asked, but if I had been presented a plan and the dates and the information of what was going on, yeah, I would have supported it.
Then you're a moron.
Well, no, that's the easiest thing to say 6 months, or 8 months after the retirement, right? Like a full year after Cope could have potentially wrestled John Cena. Yeah, I would have said, okay, nobody approached me. They should have approached me. That's on them. Like that's the easiest thing to say a year after this could have potentially happened.
Good job. What is he, Dixie Carter? He just would have, I got an idea. Let Ric Flair go to the WWE Hall of Fame. I need one of those guys off the roster. Anybody? Yep. Christian. He's one of my favorites. Not Taker, huh? Christian. Outstanding.
What would the equivalent have been? Like Tony would have asked for like a Dragunov in that spot. Like, fine, you could have Cope for Cena, but what can we do?
Gargano.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Gargano. Yeah, let him come back. Yeah. You know what? I don't believe him.
Oh, yeah, either do I. Either do I.
I think he's so bitter
Cope was
against.
never going to win that match either. Like
no, he's so bitter against WWE that I think, and again, it's not just one way; it's both sides.
Yeah.
They just, I think him even thinking about helping WWE or working with WWE, that's out the water. It's too bitter now between the two sides. You can tell. WWE does everything it can to be able to cover up AEW shows and to go up against them. So the war's still on.
But wouldn't it have been a little bit of marketing? Like if you see Cope in 2026 in a ring with Cena, you're like, oh, wow, he still can go. I wish I could watch him more. And then you do a Google search and you're like, oh, look, he's in this AEW. You could pull some people that way.
You mean like when Mick Foley was TNA champion? Mick Foley said, I go to airports. It's like, hey, Mick, how's it going in the WWE? He goes, oh, I'm in TNA now. You are? Yeah, I'm the world champion. You are? Yeah.
Like every time Mercedes retweets people about like, oh, I miss Sasha Banks. And she's like, no, still going.
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah. So,
right here.
Whatever.
That's it for news and notes.
All right, what'd you have for the matches of the week? I already mentioned the one, Rey Fenix. They're letting Rey Fenix wrestle on television. Turns out, good for business.
Yeah,
I like the Mox Claudio match very much so.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so. Neither one of them bled. That's a positive.
Which was a shocker. That's the upset of the week.
Yes,
I actually liked O'Reilly and Nigel last night. O'Reilly and his little friend on his face after. I don't know where that happened, but it was a bad shiner.
It was bad.
Yeah,
that didn't come from AEW, did it?
I don't know.
That
eye was closing. Like he looked like Popeye, like the way it was closing.
Yeah. Anything on for going back to SmackDown? Obviously, we can look at the Kevin Owens, CM Punk match.
Again, good match until you get the wonky finish. Which I feel is such a. I feel we say that on a weekly basis. I like the main event of this WWE show until the interference.
That's how they do it, man. That's how Triple H came up in the business. Everything was interference back then. Oh, I missed the Monday Night Wars. You mean all of the interference? All the short matches and all of the non-finishes? Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned earlier, Swerve versus Jack last night was fun. Main event, close out Dynamite.
Yeah. And it was done at 9:05 Central.
Well, easy to edit the showdown when it happened earlier in the day.
True.
That's true. That part,
Those international shows, that was not live at 7 Central, 8 Eastern last night. That was not a live show because you could tell the way they edited Ospreay's promo at the start. Like there were a couple of times where they kind of got quick at the end where they cut off some words and changed the camera. And I'm guessing he meandered a little bit more in that promo and they just cut it down to make it a little more concise.
Collision.
That's a good idea.
Willow and Maya, random, unnecessary match, but it was a pretty good match.
Oh yeah, on Collision. I forgot that was this week. I forgot they did that.
Like you had your TBS champion lose clean on a Saturday night just because.
Well, because she was owed a world championship match.
Okay.
Because why wouldn't Willow put up the championship 10 days away from or a week away from the biggest match of the year at Wembley?
They even did the match graphic where it's Mercedes and then Willow or Maya. So, because you never know, she might have won the title that night.
So many stories. I'll just use the one. There is the story of how there's people that come to TV and thinking they're not going to be used. And then Tony at the last minute goes, wait a minute, who's in the building? Hey guys, let's put on so-and-so versus so-and-so. Sometimes they've been booked. It's just like, hey, these two in the building or this tag team's in the building. Let's do this now. And TV, especially like the Collision people or like they're like, oh, I just want to go home and I just want to eat. I just want to get out of here. I want to get back to the hotel. No. Let's have 3 more matches. I won't give the source on that, but that is a thing where the card's a card that we see on TV, and all of a sudden there's just added shit to it just because they're in the building.
Yeah.
That'll teach you. Don't show up for work.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's it. Just no call, no show.
That's what you get. That's what you get for showing up to work. You're throwing in a random match in a collision.
Just putting matches together just because they're in the building. Did I see so and so come in here? Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's do these 2 matches. Let's do that. Especially in ROH.
Is that AR Fox? All right, let's get him in a match.
Oh God. Yeah, boss. Yeah. Can you give me a good tight 15? Of course. Of course. I need 30 minutes though to go over my match though. So I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. And then we go to the outside. Horrible. Make sure you go make sure that you go and hide in the bowels of a building if you're going to AEW.
Yeah, if you're not already scheduled, not already booked, show up. But yeah, maybe make your presence a little less known. If you happen to miss any of this show, you can always comment, subscribe at YouTube, youtube.com/@GoodKarmaWrestling. Take a look at some of the past interviews we've done. Should be, again, a really fun weekend with All In coming up on Sunday. Sunday night's main event the weekend after that. I know one thing, we're going to be here next week to discuss it all on GKW.